who indeed failed out of game design classes.
Hell, I was using GameMaker 8 for a while, so I'm like super beginner.
No, I mean, my holdback is always that I am relatively poor at making graphics, and I am absolutely terrible at making music. But, perhaps I could get it together with Mateo and grab some music.
I was just going to say, we have people on the GameCola staff who could probably work together with you on something.
We're a wealth of talent.
I don't know, it might be cool. But as of late, I have been incredibly busy, and as such, I was just going and playing other people's games. I'm very disappointed in myself.
Aww. I was going to actually mention... Sorry, I interrupt you. I keep doing that.
Oh, no.
Indie game I played recently. It's pretty popular now. Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
I've heard of it, but I haven't played it yet.
I've heard it's good. I've heard it's like a creepy game. I've been wanting to play it, but I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Yeah, it's
Oblivion.
Yeah. It's basically I'd say it's probably the scariest game to come out in recent years anyways, because like don't get me wrong, I do like Dead Space, but Dead Space just startles you. It doesn't really fill you with dread. Mm-hmm. Not like Amnesia does, because like for the first 10 minutes of playing it, you don't see a monster. Like you see doors blow open and like shadows and whatnot and stuff that creeps you out, but you don't actually see anything that poses a threat. Until this moment where you get to the cellar, and then a monster finally appears. And at that point, you are screaming at the top of your lungs, trying to get away, clamoring for life, and it's just... It really is a very scary game. Don't play it in the dark, because you will lose your mind.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
I like my mind, thank you.
Yeah, most of my indie gaming tends to take place on Xbox Live Indie Games just because I read a column for it for the site. So, I mean, I really liked, I've talked about this a billion times on the site by now, a game called Excruciating Guitar Voyage, which is just this wonderful, wonderful combination of point-and-click adventure games, of course, because those are the only things I play, and platformers. And it's also really funny and weird, and then there's singing involved in more than one location. So, I enjoy that. I also, another indie game I played recently is Epic Dungeon, also for Xbox Live Indie Games. It's basically one of those roguelike kind of games where you just go down floor after floor after floor, picking up better equipment and hitting stuff and trying not to die. That's fun. But not a lot of PC indie games.
Well, see, I guess that's a question I could pose to all of you, is once again, like, what are your thoughts on, like, Flash games or browser games? They seem to be becoming popular, and actually I've seen a number of, like, larger companies starting to make browser games. It's actually becoming, like, a real medium.
And the casual browser-type games are certainly money makers. Certainly people are interested in them. I don't know if there are any replacement for PC or console, like full games.
Yeah.
But it's certainly something people are interested in. I've played a good handful. They're fun when you don't want to get into a full game. You just want to play something really quick. It's not a bad option.
I've noticed that Facebook games have been getting a little more advanced lately. Like the first time I played a Facebook game was like 3 or 4 years ago, and it was basically like playing a website. Like, I click, and then it takes me to the next screen, and like, oh, this is what you did. And then I click somewhere else, and it's like, oh, this is what you did this time. But now there's like actual animation and controls and stuff. They've gotten to the point where it's like a Flash game, basically. But
I'm recalling Mr. Face.
Wow, that's old school.
Talk about it.
Mr. Face was a game featured in GameCola's very first issue, back when we still had our monthly issue format. It was just a stupid little game that GameCola writer Matt Gardner made in his class. Actually, no, I'm sorry, that's Mr. Face Advance I'm talking about. There's even one before Mr. Face, which is actually very much like the old school Facebook games, where this is something I created myself when I was like 15 years old, where there was a big screen, there was like a website, and there was a picture of a smiley face, and then you click, and it takes you to a next page where Mr. Face has been shot in his face. And then if you click again, it takes you to another screen where he's been shot again. But he isn't really shot where you clicked. It's just where I happened to draw the little bullet hole.
It was a
So
good
it's
game.
it's like Baseball 2000.
Yeah. But then
Yes.
Matt Gardner later made a sequel to that in Visual Basic where Mr. Face actually bounces around on the screen and you have to click him a bunch of times to kill him.
Wow, Visual Basic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, good old Mr. Face.
Yeah.
Were you surprised that I remembered that?
Yeah, I was. I didn't know what to do with myself.
Yes, I do recall Mr. Face.
Wonderful.
Anyway, but yeah, 'cause I don't know. I remember, Neopets and stuff like that back in the days when browser games were like coming out. And I remember Java games used to be popular. If anybody remembers Java, the little Java applets.
I love
Yeah.
coffee. I
Like
love
the little-
small island nations.
I mostly know Java because every day it tells me to update. And
Yes,
I
it's
keep
true.
telling it, no Java. Last time I updated, you broke the system that I used to log in for work. And then I couldn't log into my work anymore, and I couldn't do work. And it was
Yikes.
very upsetting. So I'm not updating you anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of like Adobe. Adobe updates all the time.
Broke
and then
everything. I couldn't log into the company website anymore.
Yikes.
Yeah, my Adobe does that too, and I have to keep telling it, stop doing that because you're going to find out I didn't pay for it.
I just always hate when Adobe Reader updates and it puts that icon back on your desktop. I didn't want you there in the first place.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
Like,
deleted it for a reason.
I never use you, and you're requiring me to restart my computer, and you're putting an icon back on my desktop.
I don't like it when anything puts an icon on my desktop. I just delete them all right away.
Yeah.
I have recycling bin in my computer and my documents, and that's it.
Yes.
Ideally, that's what mine would look like, but it's usually a cluttered mess of crap.
Yeah.
When I download something, I just think, yeah, I'll just put it on the desktop for now. Every time.
But I think we've started to derail this topic slightly.
Yes, I was
Maybe.
talking about,
We were talking
Browser
about
games.
desktops.
well, see, okay, I personally like Java. I like programming in Java. It's pretty cool. I don't like so much programming in Flash. See, I guess I have an issue with Flash's graphics being that they're vector graphics. Like, it's a lot of smooth curves and stuff, and I have pixels in my heart. It's actually quite painful. I have to get it checked out once a month. But, I like square things. I like blocks that don't rotate, thank you. I do not like anti-aliasing, so I'm not a big fan of Flash, but I don't know if anybody actually would know what was going on if a Java applet began loading.
I don't know, maybe I'm not up to date, but I thought Java was pretty much still around.
Well, I think it's
Maybe
still
not.
around, but it's, like Paul said, it's used more for like, oh, I use it to go to work, or I use
Yeah.
it, I don't know.
For business-type applications, not so much games.
Yeah, like I don't know, because I feel like there is a niche market for it, because smartphones and stuff, a lot of them don't support Flash, but they do support Java. So if I wanted to go super casual games, targeting smartphones and stuff, I could get out using Java.
Maybe. That's maybe a train of thought worth exploring.
Yeah.
But also by the time that I would produce a game, probably Flash would be supported, and oh boy.
But hopefully Java still would be too.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not a fan of good graphics.
Stupid graphical progress. I
Yeah.
hate you.
Improvement.
If I could just have like one giant square of one color, that's quite a game.
Okay, I'm gonna say we move on to the next topic now.
Yes.
Christian, do you have something else for us?
No, I only had one.
No. Okay, I have another one. We talked earlier about games that we're looking forward to in 2011. I want to take that back a step. A month or so ago, we released GameCola's top games of 2010, and I thought we could talk a little about what our personal games of the year were for 2010.
Ooh.
So Jetty, what was yours? What's your game of the year for 2010?
Did I vote for a game of the year?
I don't know. Did you?
I don't think I did.
I think you voted for games for some categories.
I did, but I'm trying to remember what I even voted for.
There was some indie game you voted for.
Yeah, I think I did vote for Tower of Heaven, or I might have voted for VVVVVV.
That was it. Yeah, the VE one.
Yes, 6 V's.
Yeah.
Oh, VVVVVV. Yeah. Anyway, yes, I voted for Tower of Heaven. So there. Ha.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just. Yeah, I remember because I was going to vote, but then for some reason, the email got lost somewhere, and then just I don't know what happened. But
Oh yeah, I didn't really think through this topic. I